My name is Jory Bain. This is my wife, Mallory, and we co-lead the college ministry of Crew here in Denver.
We've been at Fellowship for just about a year now, and what drew us to the church is we had just gotten married, and Jory lived in Denver, and I had just moved here, and so with getting married and transitioning, we felt the need for a fresh start and had a lot of friends who went to Fellowship, and Jory knew a couple of the staff, and so already felt really connected to Fellowship, and so came and just kind of knew from one Sunday that, yeah, this is a good fit. I think for me, the best part about Fellowship and getting connected here was just how quickly we got embraced. I think it was like, came one Sunday, filled out a contact card, got followed up the next day, and then got emailed by our Fellowship group leader within, like, by Tuesday, and we're ready to go that week to a Fellowship group. And so I was just really surprised and really excited and felt really cared for by how intentional and how quickly they acted to get us connected to the church.
The ministry of hospitality here was something that I felt like pretty quickly, both with the staff, but then also with especially like the Fellowship group leaders. And it was really nice that we had a Fellowship group in our neighborhood.
What was so encouraging and hard, like a hard reality, I think, and getting involved with the Fellowship group, is that our group actually split like a month into meeting. So we were part of the group, and it was pretty large, and that's what you want to see. You want to see a group multiply and lead out and start in another neighborhood. But it did feel like, man, I spent a lot of time talking to these people every week, and now they're moving on to a new group, and like, do we stay? What do we do? And so I think it was actually a blessing in that, is it actually brought our group more intimate and was like focused and like, okay, well, let me talk to these people. Let me keep investing in these relationships. And I think it's actually been really sweet to see the fruit of that and the change that was unexpected, but it was actually a blessing from God to the relationships that we've been building and getting to see those relationships deepen. And now getting to, even like this weekend, we're hanging out with a couple and getting to invest in the lives of their friends who aren't believers and getting to do that together. And I think that's really the vision of Fellowship groups is, hey, who are the people in your life that it's really hard to be a light to, but who can we come alongside you and be a light with you to? And getting to invest in those relationships, not just with the group, but with those friendships outside the group together.
Our first Sunday here was the start of the First to the Lord journey. Mm-hmm. And so we literally walked in the church the first day, and some big fundraising, 2-year fundraising campaign is what we heard about.
Yeah. I personally feel like the financial piece of a church gives a lot of vision and kind of is the bone structure of a church. And since we work for a ministry, we actually also raise our financial support for our personal life and for the ministry. And so for us, that's an area that we think about every day. And we feel a deep heart level connection to, because we see the care that we take and we desire to take for our financial supporters. And so getting to see Fellowship and how they approached it meant a lot to us from a very early start in our coming here.
A couple years ago, as I was moving back to Denver and thinking through the type of church that I wanted to get involved in, one of my values in finding a church was a church that was had sort of an outward focus and sought to multiply themselves, not necessarily to become the next huge 10,000 person, attractional mega church, but to be a church is like, hey, let's go to where people are not being reached and let's multiply. And so I think hearing about Fellowship Denver's desire in this journey to start a new church and to start in a new neighborhood and a new community, that's something that gets me really excited about the future of where we're going.
I think I get really excited about the kids ministry. I think about how many kids we have in the church, and we don't have kids, we have a dog. But I think, when I see so many young families and I'm like, man, where are those families gonna be 10 years from now? What is the high school ministry gonna be like? Like, that vision just really excites me, and the growth and the influence that those kids will have in their high school because of how they've been raised up in Fellowship and the truth and the gospel that has been so embraced in their lives. And then I think the other way I get really excited about Fellowship is I just love that Fellowship has cultivated this strong desire for me to just learn and grow and not be content, but to embrace culture with the foundation of Scripture and the gospel holding us steady. what this First to the Lord commitment represented is just the planting of roots here in Denver. I think seeing the commitment and the longevity of what this giving would look like, that other things can change, but this was the commitment I made to the Lord, and this is what is going to hold through these seasons, through the unknown and uncertainty, seeing like, okay, Lord, I want to be committed in our family and our future here in Denver with this church, and not just seeing our money or our time, but really seeing our home as a commitment in this also for fellowship.